Could you all find a pew? Because we better kick off soonish, or we won't be able to do the meet the speakers thing on time. That's what's happening after this, meet the speakers, organised by our postdoc and PhD reps. I might go there as well, so you can meet me if you'd like. I told you yesterday that the best bit of being chair president of the British Society for Developmental Biology is handing out prizes and awards, and we gave our Tickle Award out yesterday. I'm going to give out two tonight, two gorgeous medals. I've got them both here. I'd love them both. So what I'm going to do is sort of set the scene and tell you about these two medals and about the two winners, and then one of them is going to give a talk. The other, it's a bit like an Oscar thing. They come up, they do you 2 minutes, and then they do a tour of several universities, and I'll explain it as we go along. Could you let me have some screen action? So these are three of our medals as of a little while ago, and we've got a fourth now. And the fourth one is in honour of Lewis, who died last year and was, you know, a pillar of developmental biology, one of the grandfathers of... He vivaed my PhD, and much of the time during the viva, he wasn't really focused because a package was coming that he was longing to receive. So my PhD was actually rather an easy thing. But anyway, he's lovely, and not only an amazing scientist, but a fantastic raconteur, communicator, advocate of developmental biology. And so we decided, we've been thinking on the BSDB committee for a while, that we would like a medal that honours, you know, the people who teach and communicate and sell developmental biology for us. And we commissioned Steph Nowatarski, who's a planarian postdoc in the States and also a fantastic artist, to come up with a design, and this is the design, and it looks even better now as a cast medal. And last year we awarded the first of these to Jamie Davis, who again just did the 2-minute Oscar receipt thing. I have to say I'm slightly worried about presenting Oscar-y type things. I was going to mock Rob Insall for his ridiculously fancy face mask, but I was worried that Laura Macheski would come up and slap me. So I won't tease him about that. So here's this year. I was involved in. I was one of the people who nominated this guy for the Wolpert Medal, and in part, I selfishly nominated him because one of my new PhD students, Jake, who Helen Weavers and I share running, he was a mathematician and he needed to learn fly stuff so that he could do his own wet lab experiments to do the maths on. And so Helen and I sent him on this Manchester fly faculty training program. And I joined in a bit because I don't know much about fly stuff either. And it's a fantastic course. But there's a lot more to it, to the sort of fly Manchester outreach thing. So, you know, some of the funders have these glossy brochures selling EDI outreach. This is EDI outreach. It's what Andreas does. These are all Drosophilists, you know, and that's where you need to get them. And that's where Andreas gets them. And he's infected the whole of Manchester and other places with this urge to engage folk. He also, when he was on our committee, this is sort of another selfish reason why he should get the prize, we've got the best archive of any society, and it's all down to Andreas. And he's an advocate of developmental biology and science communication. In fact, he even writes about it. So I've got your medal, Andreas. Please come up and don't slap me, and instead receive this medal.
Thanks so much, Paul, and thanks to the committee. It really makes my day, my year. And it's really beautiful. You're not exaggerating. So I'll have it in my rucksack, and if you want to see it, I show it to everybody who wants. So now I think it's really, really important that societies reward and recognize science communication as a service to science, to the community, which is fun, but also, of course, involves a lot of commitment, a lot of time investment, and very often we don't see then actually the recognition from our home institutions. And therefore, I think if there are other ways to reward this can only help. And I mean, how important it is, I've seen myself in Manchester when we merged the Faculty of Medicine and Life Sciences. Actually, we had one of the largest developmental biology groupings in the UK, and that was one of the ones that was crippled in the process. And if you think about it, we just fail to communicate the importance of our science. If one considers developmental biology as one of those disciplines that bridge between medicine and biology, because we are asking questions at the level at which medical symptoms become manifest, and we can provide satisfactory explanations for it and even applications. So this needs to be understood, and this is why it's so important that we all really engage in this. And if I think back of the discussion a while ago where the BSDB was trying to change its name, I think that was an alarming sign. And that was one of the reasons also why, when I was in the committee, I started with the advocacy work. And I would urge all of you, please look on the BSDB page. There is a tab, or advocacy, which gives many, many arguments. And we invite everybody in our community to please help to further improve all these arguments, to enrich it further. Because it's so important that we all have our elevator pitches ready whenever we talk to politicians, our line managers, students on our courses, medics, journalists. So we should always be just prepared to be clear about why we do fundamental science, why model organisms are important, why developmental biology is important, why our projects are important. And I think by doing so, we can slowly move the goalpost. So, but that said, and I'm coming to an end now, that said, I must also say there is a lot to gain from science communication. I mean, it's on one hand pleasure. On the other hand, it is something that makes you think about why I'm actually doing this research. And for me, I can only say it changed the way I think about my science. It changed the way I do my science. And it gave me fantastic statements for grant applications and papers. So there's something to be gained from it. And then, last not least, it gave me this wonderful medal. So I'm really grateful for this, and it's very much appreciated. So thank you very much.
I'm very relieved there were no tears or anything. Now, one thing I should say is no talk from Andreas, but the BSDB is funding 4 or 5 talks from Andreas at your various institutes. So if you fancy a bit of Andreas action, then please email Jens or I, who will help organise this.